The husband catches his wife lying about being at the movies with her sister, only to discover that she has been secretly cheating with her sister's partner. The explosive confrontation exposes every hidden betrayal. I still remember the vibration of my phone that night, such a small thing, such an ordinary sound. Yet that single buzz cracked open the truth that had been hiding in the shadows of my marriage. It was Friday, the kind of evening where the world slows down and people settle into whatever comfort they can afford. For me, comfort had become a performance, pretending everything was fine, pretending I didn't feel the cold distance between us growing week by week. I kept telling myself it was just stress, just exhaustion, just life, anything but what I feared deep down. My phone lit up. Going to the movies with my sister. Don't wait up. A simple message. A harmless one. The kind of excuse that works because it sounds normal. But here's the thing, her sister was standing right next to me. We had met earlier that evening because she needed help with something personal. She didn't want to involve her sibling, so she reached out to me. I didn't question it, family was family. I had always been close to her sister, she was direct, logical, and the kind of person who spoke truth even when it burned. So when that message came, I didn't react immediately. I just stared at my screen, feeling something twist inside me. Her sister glanced at me, saw my expression shift, and raised an eyebrow. "You okay?" I didn't answer. I simply turned my phone toward her. Her face changed instantly. Shock first. Then anger. And something else I couldn't name, maybe resignation, maybe confirmation of suspicions she'd been carrying silently. "She told you she was with me?" her sister asked, voice tightening. "Yes." She inhaled sharply, then exhaled through her nose like she was trying to stop herself from exploding. "Follow me," she said. Without another word, she grabbed her bag and walked out the door. I followed, my heartbeat thumping like a warning drum. I had no idea what she was thinking or where she was taking me, but I knew one thing with absolute clarity. This wasn't the first time she had caught her sibling lying. Not even close. We drove to the movie theater, and I kept waiting for her to explain what was happening, but she stayed silent the entire 20-minute ride. Her jaw was clenched, her fingers drumming lightly against the steering wheel, the kind of restless tapping people do when they're trying to keep themselves from screaming. When we finally pulled up, she took a deep breath. "If she's lying," she said quietly, "I want you to know something before you see it for yourself." My stomach tightened. "What is it?" She looked at me, not with pity, but with that heavy, steady honesty that felt like the edge of a blade. "I've known for a month," she said. "I just didn't know how to tell you." My world didn't break in a dramatic burst. It didn't collapse with thunder or lightning. Instead, it felt like a quiet, slow-motion shattering, like a mirror falling to the ground and breaking into pieces you would step on one by one without even realizing it. "A month?" I whispered. She nodded. "Yes." My throat tightened, but I had to ask. "With who?" She swallowed hard. "I'll let you see it for yourself." We walked through the theater entrance. The place was buzzing with weekend energy, popcorn machines humming, people laughing, teenagers arguing over which movie to see. It all felt too normal for what was happening inside my chest. Her sister scanned the room, eyes sharp and focused, until she suddenly stopped. Her jaw set. "There," she whispered. I followed her gaze. And that was when I saw my wife. Not alone. Not even remotely innocent. She was with someone, leaning close, touching his arm, laughing in that way she used to laugh with me before everything changed. Their heads tilted together as if the world around them didn't exist. And even from a distance, I could see it, the softness she no longer gave me, the glow she didn't carry at home, the spark that had dimmed between us but blazed brightly for someone else. I didn't move. I couldn't. Something inside me froze, refusing to accept what my eyes were showing me. Her sister's hand tightened into a fist. "That's him," she said. The one she's been sneaking around with. The word struck like a physical blow. The room felt colder. She looked at me again, her face full of fury but also guilt, like she blamed herself for not telling me sooner. Then she did something I didn't expect. She marched straight toward them. I almost grabbed her arm to stop her, but I couldn't bring myself to move. Something inside me needed this confrontation to happen. Needed the truth dragged out into the light where no one could pretend anymore. My wife saw her sister approaching first. Her entire face changed, from carefree amusement to sudden panic. The man beside her looked confused. My wife whispered something urgently, but her sister didn't slow down. She reached them, stepped between them, and looked her sibling dead in the eyes. "Stop lying," she said. Loud enough for people nearby to hear. My wife froze. Then she slowly turned, and saw me standing across the lobby. Her face drained of color. That was when I sent the message that would twist the knife even deeper. "Turn around. Your sister and I can see you." Her eyes met mine, and for a long moment, neither of us moved. She didn't run. She didn't speak. She didn't even blink. She just stared, like she was watching her whole life collapse in real time. Then, suddenly, she rushed toward me. Not with anger. Not with excuses. With tears. "I can explain," she cried, grabbing my arm. Her sister stepped between us, placing a firm hand on her chest and pushing her back. "No," she said quietly. "He's heard enough lies." My wife looked at her, shocked and hurt. "Why are you doing this?" "Because," her sister said, voice shaking with restrained rage, "I'm done covering for you." My wife's mouth fell open in disbelief. "Covering for me? What are you talking about?" Her sister's eyes filled with tears she'd been holding back for weeks. "I've known for a month that you've been sleeping with my..." She stopped herself abruptly, biting down on the last word like it physically hurt. People in the lobby stared. The man she'd been with lingered awkwardly by the concession stand, unsure whether to stay or leave. My wife shook her head vigorously. "It's not what you think. Please, just let me talk to him." But her sister snapped, louder this time. "No. You've done enough." Then everything went silent. Not around us, the theater noise continued, but inside me. It was like my mind had shut down, unable to process anything more. A month. She'd been lying for a month. Her sister had known. And I had been blindly trying to save something that was already burning. My wife reached for me again, tears streaming down her face. "Please, please listen to me. I didn't mean for any of this to happen." Her words cut through me, but they didn't reach my heart, not anymore. Because the truth was standing right behind her, arms crossed, face trembling with betrayal. Her sister whispered to me, "You deserve better than this." And for the first time in a long time, I believed it. I stepped back from my wife's grip. She broke. Right there, in front of everyone. Tears, shaking hands, desperate explanations spilling out faster than she could form them. But nothing she said mattered. Because the truth wasn't in her words. It was in everything she had already done. And I realized, standing in that chaotic, fluorescent-lit lobby, that the life I thought I had, was already gone. When she broke down crying in the middle of that theater lobby, part of me wanted to walk away right then. Not out of anger, anger would have been easier. What I felt was emptier, heavier. A kind of numbness that settles in when you realize someone you trusted with your whole life had treated your heart like disposable clutter. Her sister stood beside me, arms crossed, jaw tight. My wife kept reaching toward me, desperate, shaking. "Please, please let me explain." I didn't reply. Not because I didn't want answers, but because I already knew whatever she said would be a mix of half-truths and excuses. She had lied so comfortably, so easily. You don't lose that habit in 30 seconds. Her sister stepped forward again. "Stop," she said, voice stern but trembling with emotion. "He doesn't owe you a conversation." "But I owe him one," my wife cried. "Please, just hear me out." People around us whispered, pretending not to eavesdrop. A few held popcorn buckets like the drama unfolding was just another movie. My wife looked at her sister, tears streaking her cheeks. "Why would you do this to me?" Her sister laughed bitterly. "Do this to you? You think I did this? You blew up your own life. You dragged me into your mess. And you dragged him into months of lies." My wife shook her head violently, like the truth was too heavy to accept. "It's not what it looks like." Her sister cut her off. "Then what is it? Go on. Tell him." Silence. Her lips trembled, but nothing came out. Because there was nothing left to twist, nothing left to manipulate. The truth was already obvious. I finally spoke, my voice low and steady. "Who is he?" She froze. Her sister tensed beside me, like she already knew this part was going to hurt even worse. My wife swallowed hard, her chest rising and falling rapidly. "He's just someone from work, it wasn't emotional, it just." Her sister slammed her hand against the wall. "Stop lying." Everyone jumped. Even I flinched. Her sister's voice cracked as she continued. "You weren't cheating with someone from work. You were sleeping with my partner. The person I've been with for 2 years. The person I lived with. The person I was planning a future with." The words echoed through the room like a detonation. My wife's face collapsed into pure horror. "No, no, please don't say it like that, it wasn't like that. I didn't mean for it to." Her sister's voice rose again. "You didn't mean to sleep with the person I loved. You didn't mean to lie to both of us. You didn't mean to pretend you were with me every time you snuck out with him." People around us gasped. The man my wife had been with earlier. He silently slipped out of the lobby, like a coward retreating into the darkness. My wife reached for her sister, voice cracking. "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry." Her sister stepped back, shaking her head. "Save your tears. They don't change anything." Then she turned to me, eyes softening for the first time that night. "You don't need to stay here. You don't need to listen to any of this." She was giving me an out. But I needed closure, not from my wife, but for myself. I took a slow breath. "No. I need to finish this." Her sister nodded quietly. My wife looked between us, panicked. I was lonely. I was confused. "I didn't know how to talk to you anymore." "That's not an excuse," I said. "But things changed between us," she insisted. "We stopped connecting, you stopped noticing me, you weren't the same. And sleeping with your sister's partner was your solution." She broke again, covering her face with her hands as sobs shook through her. Her sister muttered, "Unbelievable." I took another step back, putting distance between us. "Pack your things tonight," I said flatly. "You're not coming home." She looked up sharply, eyes wide with panic. "Please, please don't do this." "You did this," I replied. She reached for me again, but her sister intercepted her, holding her back like she was protecting me from a wounded animal. "You need help," her sister told her. "Real help. And the first step is accepting what you did." My wife sank to her knees right there on the theater floor. Her cries were softer now, broken, defeated. I turned away. Not out of cruelty. But because something inside me was done, truly done. Her sister followed me out into the parking lot. The cold air hit my face, grounding me in a reality I hadn't asked for but couldn't escape. We stood in silence for a moment, letting the noise of the theater fade behind us. Finally, she spoke. "I'm sorry. I should have told you sooner." I shook my head. You were trying to protect your own heart. And I understand that. She wiped a tear from her cheek. I didn't want to believe it. I kept hoping she would stop. Or confess. Or feel guilty. But she didn't. I nodded slowly. People show you who they are when they think they won't get caught. She let out a shaky breath. What will you do now? Move on, I said simply. I don't have anything left to save. She looked at me with something like admiration. You're stronger than you think. I managed a faint smile. You are too. She laughed painfully. I don't feel like it. You faced her, I said. You told the truth. That takes strength. She nodded, looking down at her hands. Are you going home? She asked. To pack her things, I replied. Then I'm done. She hesitated, then whispered, if you ever need someone to talk to, someone who knows what this feels like. I'm here. I looked into her eyes filled with hurt and honesty and a kind of resilience I hadn't seen before. Thank you, I said. She nodded again and squeezed my arm gently before walking to her car. I stood there for a moment, watching my breath fog in the cold air, letting everything sink in. The lies. The betrayal. The months spent loving someone who had already checked out of the relationship. And the silent truth behind it all. Sometimes you don't lose a person. You lose the illusion you built around them. When I got home, it was quiet, too quiet. My house suddenly felt like a museum of memories that didn't belong to me anymore. I packed her things into bags. Neatly. Calmly. Without rage. Without tears. I placed the bags by the door and left the key inside an envelope on the counter with a simple note. You chose him. I choose peace. When I finished, I stood alone in the living room, letting the silence wrap around me. It felt strange, empty, but not painful. Like the beginning of something new. A chapter not defined by betrayal or secrets or pretending everything was fine when it wasn't. A chapter where I didn't have to question every text message, every late-night excuse, every cold shoulder. My phone buzzed, one new message. From her sister. You did the right thing. I stared at the screen for a moment, then typed back. So did you. That was the night everything ended. And the night everything finally began.